Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of BB News. And today I'm talking Ugarte, and I'll be talking Levi Colwill and touching on our upcoming game against Newcastle United. Right, okay guys, I kind of introduced it back to front because let me just touch on the Newcastle game before I go into the other two main stories about Ugarte and Levi Colwill. And yes, the season is finally going to be over. Our nightmare is going to be over on Sunday. On Sunday is going to be no more suffering watching Chelsea. I used to work with someone actually, and he this old boy, and this was years ago, and he said to me, back in the day when Chelsea weren't very good, he said, we used to go and watch Fulham for a laugh and Chelsea for a cry. And that's probably what it's been like this season. You know, watching Fulham, they did quite well this year, but Chelsea, nothing but tears from the Chelsea fan base. But as we play against Newcastle at the weekend, Newcastle are a fine example of what can happen. I think they finished 16th last season. I could be wrong, but they finished in the lower half of the table last year. Probably a similar sort of position as to where we're going to finish. Is it 13th or something like that? But it's similar to where we're going to finish. They're going to be finishing the Champions League this year. What's happened? Two things: the right recruitment. They identified the areas that they needed strengthening in, and they had a good manager in Eddie Howe, who's worked with this team, transformed the players. If you look at Joe Linton, for instance, Joe Linton, he was a laughingstock for 2 seasons at Newcastle. Couldn't buy a goal. Everyone's saying what a waste of money he was. But this guy, all it was is he was short of confidence. Eddie Howe came in, gave this guy the confidence he needs, and now he's one of their best players. The same can be said about Almiron as well. Almiron, he's transformed. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes players may not look good under a previous manager or whatever, but all they need is the right direction, and all of a sudden they could become world beaters. So that's why I'm more upbeat about next season than some people, because it all seems to be doom and gloom in our fan base at the moment. Enough of the Newcastle match. Let me go on to the other story. Talking about doom and gloom. Our fan base do like to create drama, don't they? Oh my word. After the game, after we got beat 4-1 against Manchester United, and some kid from Brighton, I think he's a YouTuber or something, guy called by the name of Ryan Adset, posted something saying, "Hey mate, how's it going?" to Levi Colwill. Levi Colwill's replied, and he said brilliant, and I'll just do the picture, I'll show you the picture. Everyone's these conspiracy theories out there. He's putting up 4 fingers to say laughing at Chelsea, taking a mickey out of Chelsea. Guys, get over yourself. It's not that deep. Relax. And that's the world we're living in now. So every move by a individual, every single step they do has to be looked at and under a microscope, and all these theories start coming out. This guy has just got Brighton into the Europe, and they've given him the opportunity to play for them, and he's out enjoying an evening out. So how's the evening going? Brilliant. How do we know? I don't know what he's saying. If he was talking about Chelsea, that is poor form. But all these people thinking, oh yeah, he's definitely talking about Chelsea and everything else. How do you know? You don't know that. So stop creating things. Now, what you've done, or the only thing you've done, this guy, Ryan, had said he knew what you're doing. Because, Brighton rate this guy so much, they want to keep him. So they're trying to unsettle him by, all the abuse that our fan base give, that people like Mason Mount and Gallagher and people like that. And they thought, okay, if I can turn the fan base against him, then maybe you'll stay. Because he tweeted later, he says, "You sure you want to go back, Levi?" And he's reveling on the fact that he's triggered a lot of Chelsea fans. So let's not let this guy have his platform. Just leave it. It's not that deep, I'm telling you. And but that's the culture. This is the younger generation of today. They overreact with every single thing that they see nowadays, and it's not good. And Levi actually himself, there's a report came out today saying that he'll be happy to come back to Chelsea and fight for his place. All Levi Colwill wanted was an opportunity. And I've heard other things. I was on a space today where people say, he's demanding to be a starter. He's not demanding to be a starter. He's just saying, and I don't see nothing wrong with this, because he believes in his ability, and he just says, look, I want opportunities. If I see a pathway for me at Chelsea, I want to stay at Chelsea. But if I don't see a pathway, then yeah, I'll look to move on. So Chelsea believe in this guy. They don't want it, because the fact is when Brighton wanted him as part of the Cucurella deal, we said no, and we said he's coming back, and Pochettino likes him, and he's going to have a place in the side. And the thing is, guys, okay, he's been in our academy for a while, but we got him from Southampton, I believe, from Southampton's academy. So he's probably not even a Chelsea supporter anyway. But you know, he's going to come back, I believe, and I believe that he's going to have a long future at the club. And all these fickle fans who were having a go at him earlier, they'll have egg on their face. And the other thing is, he can tweet something, and it sort of triggers the fan base. But a lot of those guys who are getting triggered, I bet they're the same ones who are abusing the likes of our Mason Mounts, our Conor Gallagher's and others. Probably the same ones. So you don't mind doing it to our players, but when something happens that you don't like, you get all self-righteous. Doesn't work. It can't work both ways, guys. So, let's get over it. Final story of the day is our pursuit of Ugarte. And again, our fan base are getting gassed over this guy. If he was in our academy, they probably won't be, but because he's a fancy name from Uruguay, who plays for Sporting Lisbon, all of a sudden he's an ideal partner for Enzo Fernandez. I don't get excited about transfers anymore. I've stopped getting excited about transfers. And all it takes is for 2 or 3 people to say, yeah, he's brilliant, and everyone else jumps on the bandwagon. Were we even after Ugarte a couple of months ago? No. Because he's come to the radar, all of a sudden, he's the best thing since sliced bread. He may be the best good, but I'm not going to gas this guy up. I'm not going to make this guy out to be better than what he is, because as I said, I haven't watched a lot of Sporting. I've seen a couple of games against Arsenal. Can't say that he stood out for me. I wasn't really looking out for him at the time because there wasn't that interest, and he played in the Champions League, I believe, as well. So again, as I said, I don't really know a lot about this guy. The only things I've seen from this guy is obviously do my research for videos. I've seen a few YouTube clips, but YouTube clips can make anyone look good. But from what I've seen, he looks like he's very aggressive in the tackle. He's good at interceptions, and he's good at dribbling. And that's the thing with our fan base sometimes. I saw a video the other day where this person was waxing lyrical about him because he was doing some slalom run like he's a winger or something, and saying, oh, that's why we need to get him as a defensive midfielder. But Kovacic used to do that. Is he a good defensive midfielder? No, he's not. So it's not about the dribbles and things that you do. Okay, beating the press is a part of defensive midfield now, but it's, can you plug the gaps? Can you cut out the passing lanes? From what I've seen, he can cut out the passing lanes, and he's quite aggressive, as I said, in the tackle. But I can't make a full assessment of him. But what I've done, I've taken a look at some of his statistics, and I'm looking at a couple of other midfielders that we have been linked with in the past, just to compare their stats. And as you can see on this little graphic that I'm showing here, when you compare to Declan Rice in the offensive area, Declan Rice has got a better passing accuracy, shooting average accuracy, shots on target, goals, assists, big chances missed, but accurate passes is where, per 90 minutes, is where Ugarte comes up on top, and successful dribbles. So again, as I said, I've seen that he's a very good dribbler, beating the press as well. And accurate long passes, though, don't expect the long passes from him. Declan Rice comes out on top in that area. But if he's going to be partnered with Fernandez, then he's the man who's going to be doing most of those long-range switch passes, etc. And in the defensive percentile, now, if you look at the stats on here, he's a better tackler than Declan Rice, 2.62 to 1.07. Blocks, Declan Rice comes out on top, but maybe it's because Sporting are more front foot, they're more attacking. West Ham are more counter-attacking, so they're going to be defending more. So really, some stats they're not accurate when you look at the style of play and what's happening in both teams that they're playing for. A clearing percentage, again, Declan Rice comes out on top of that. Headers, 8 point. Declan Rice nearly double, so he's stronger in the air. But interceptions, he's good at reading, and I did see that on a few of the videos I've watched. His interceptions are good, 2.17, and his possession in the final third is good. That's good if Pochettino does get him, because Pochettino does like his midfielders to push up and squeeze the space up top. So if he can win the balls in those areas, then yeah, that's a positive. And when I'm looking at him with Moise Caicedo now, because he's another guy who's been linked with Chelsea, who's more reasonable, because obviously Declan Rice, we don't think we're getting him. So we look at look at the shot accuracy compared to, that's a massive difference in shot accuracy. Shots per 90, that's the only shots per 90, and successful dribbles and accurate long passes are the only areas that he comes out on top with Moise Caicedo from the attacking point of view. Defending now, he comes out on top defensively in 4 of the stats, where it's only blocks and clearances where you have Caicedo above him. So better defensively, it looks like, than Caicedo, but worse off in attack. So is he going to be another Kovacic? So that's the thing. He doesn't really create a lot in the final third, but is he going to, if he's disciplined enough to play as a DM and then allow the sort of attacking to be with Enzo Fernandez, then that can maybe work. So guys who've seen him play more than I have, what do you think? What does he bring to us? Why do you want him? Put it in the comment section below. What do you think of the Levi Colwill comments? Are you angered by them, or is it much to do about nothing? And as we come to our last game of the season, are you excited that the season is finally over? Do you think we're going to do a lot better next season? Where do you think we're going to end up? Again, put your comments in the section below. Okay, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next video. So take care. Bye-bye.